musculardevelopment.com. We are back in Miami for the 2016 NPC Nationals. I'm hanging out here with Phil Visicaro and Johnny Castellina. Phil, a little bit of a disappointing year in 2015. You didn't quite place where you wanted. The fans at MD had a good time on mine and yours behalf, but we're good now. But you came back really, really strong in 2016. Third place at the USA's, which anybody who's competed at a national level knows what that sort of thing takes. Back here at Nationals, back as a super heavyweight? Back as a super heavyweight. What was the decision there as far as, because I know it was, you had initially weighed in at the USA's as a super heavyweight, decided to make heavyweight, kind of last minute, back in the super heavies. Talk to us about that.
My weight started dropping, so I figured I could make weight at USA. Last night, I've already dropped well over 8 pounds overnight. I've been on no carbs for a good day and a half. There's no way that I was getting anywhere close to heavyweight. If I was going to try to squeeze myself down, there was no way I was going to fill out. So my partner, Johnny Castellina, one of my best friends, is in the driver's seat, so he jumped in to peak me following his plan. And we thought it best to just make sure I look my absolute best regardless of what I weigh and just go in as is.
All right, now Johnny, Phil's puts himself out there on social media and on the forums.
Absolutely.
And so he's gotten some criticism, but it's definitely not a unique situation by any means. Having a competitor say, I can pretty much do my own diet, I'm smart enough to do that, but the last couple weeks, anybody who's gotten on stage knows that self-doubt can set in a little bit. You start questioning whether you're doing the right things. Am I doing what I need to peak? And anybody who's felt the frustrations of going from one look to another over the course of 24 hours, knows how much you can question yourself. Phil brought you in just to peak him the last week, not to do the whole diet. What's your game plan with Phil?
Phil's incredibly smart. Everybody knows his shit. So basically, he asked me. I've seen him through the years, and I've watched how he preps. I watched him peak himself, so I know how his body reacts to pretty much everything. And we could have done it in the past, but he was stubborn. He wanted to do his thing, and he's very smart. I don't blame him. This time he said, "Hey," he texted me about 10 days out or so, and was like, "Hey, you want to peak me?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do." And he's like, "How about you take full driver's seat and just control everything?" And I was like, "I'm with it. Let's go." So basically, the way we did it was took notes from his, because I didn't prep him, so I needed every detail, down to the small stuff. Basically, what he did with the USA peak, just to get some feedback from what he did there, and then basically what he did with his whole prep. So we took all that, and then I considered how he reacts to everything over the years, and then we just basically created the peak. Like I said, I write it in, it's written out, but as his body changes, we change things. This time we didn't really change much based off what I wrote, because we pretty much knew how he was going to react. Kept more intramuscular triglycerides in this time to make sure he stayed full. That's off the carbs for the week, which is I said he went very, very low carb, no carb past few days. Really increased that sensitivity. So when he's fully, the thing with him, he's got to be dry before he loads, more than other people. And then his nutrient partitioning timing is a little bit slower compared to his metabolism. His metabolism is very fast, but he digests and partitions slower than other people. So that all has to be taken into account. And right now, I would say this is the best he's ever been, period. And also, especially at this point now. So I'm very, very confident with what we're going to bring tomorrow at this point. So.
Now, Phil, we were talking with another gentleman earlier. But the topic came up of finding a balance point between fullness and conditioning. Now, ideally for everybody, to show up as shredded as you possibly can be, as full as you can possibly be is the goal. But those of us that have gotten on stage, we know, like real world, that's not always the case. And you've battled with that a little bit, should I be fuller, should I be leaner? Yeah. It looked like you brought a pretty good combination of both at the USA's. Were you happy with where you were at as far as that, or were you aiming to be a little bit fuller or a little bit leaner at Nationals? I mean, what was the game plan as far as what you wanted to see different here in Miami?
I felt like based on the situation and everything that I went through and just where I was at USA. That was the best I was going to be at that point. However, a lot of people like to give me shit when I say, I transform flat versus full. And one of the main reasons why Johnny is able to really, really handle my peak very well is because we lived together for 2 years. He's seen how drastically I could change. I can look like a physique competitor one day, and I could look like a pro the next day based on how flat or full I actually am. So he's actually making sure that he keeps me a little bit on the fuller side and the type of physique that's going to look a little bit better fuller as opposed to dry and flat, because that's where my strengths lie. So he's taking care of that, and I'm very, very happy with how I look so far. And I've sent you some pictures.
We should get the opinions of our fellow media gentlemen. NPC News' finest, Frank Sepp and J.M. Mannion behind the camera, trying to mess us up, but they did a good job of
I
it.
just wanted to Mr. David flexing in here. I thought
It's gonna try to make me look bad.
I just
JM's
want-
got
I
his
just wanna
Guns N'
say-
Roses.
I just
You
wanna
can't hide-
say-
you can't hide your shirt.
Oh, I can't
You
hide
got
the shirt.
Guns
Yeah.
N' Roses.
I'm just very upset that Phil isn't in pink. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, there's no.
I do have pink on.
he's got a pink.
we got-
He's got a pink
No,
line.
normally you're pink head to toe.
I'm close.
No, that's a stripe.
Well, I will be in pink for the
This
finals.
would be a
Okay.
lot more entertaining if we could actually read a bubble over David's head.
Beautiful. We'd have to edit that right out.
Oh, wait. You'll be pink for Sunday, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have my word.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Prediction time. As everybody knows, JM does the NPC News Online photo shoots with the Pro Card winners on Sunday. So, well, I tell you what, man, we hope you get to line up that photo shoot
I'm gonna
on
give it my
Sunday.
best shot.
All right, man. Well, I'll tell you what, we really appreciate you guys jumping in, taking the time. We know you got a busy night ahead of you guys. Prejudging starts tomorrow, and then finals are going to be on Saturday, as always, here for the NPC Nationals. So make sure you guys tune in for that. We're going to have our play-by-play pictures going up live as everything's happening. We're going to find out how Phil does, but that's going to do it for us, guys. So one more time, David Bay with Phil Visicaro and Johnny Castellino for MuscularDevelopment.com.